After a long waiting time, we are finally seeing the new live stream for Arknights Endfield, which will cover the coming version. It's been a long time coming. We have not had too much of hype or any updates after Zhongfang Yi for a while, which acts as like a breather, I suppose. I hope you guys have saved enough resources because we're about to have to spend a lot of our balls. In any case though, today we'll be covering everything that's important from the live stream summary and everything you may have missed. I'll also be including some key points about the new characters and what you may expect from them in a very direct way. So hopefully it'll help you in planning who to pull. And of course, we'll be getting a poll suggestion video up soon as well, so do follow the channel for that. Just real quick before we start, if you're looking to be spending money on the game anyways, I've got a pretty good deal for you. Introducing Loot Bar, which is a website I use often for literally just cheaper top-ups for games like Arknights Endfield. The website's simple. It offers cheaper pricing for the same bundles in the game. You can check how much you're saving right beside the price tag. You actually could save a lot, up to 26% in total if you claim new user coupons using my link in the description. So it's just a deal that you don't want to miss out. Do not worry as well, because it's not too big of a hassle to set up. Simply click my link in the description, register an account if you don't have it yet, browse and choose any bundle, including even some custom ones that Loot Bar provides, complete the payment, choose self top up, log into your account. Now this is secured since it is set up as a one-time cloud device, so you don't gotta worry about that. You'll then see your account in-game on the browser, go to the store and click on the bundle you purchased. You'll be able to redeem it right away and voila, you'll have your resources. Then simply log out, your data will be automatically cleared. Of course, you may have some doubts, but I do find Loot Bar 100% trustworthy, given I myself used it for the past year with no issues, and tons of other creators are using Loot Bar too. It has a high score in Trustpilot too, with thousands of good reviews from customers. Loot Bar is a pretty recognized name these days, and they even have official CD key sales among other services provided for a long time now. You can actually get up to 50% off plus cashback for popular Steam games like Arknights, so I genuinely don't think you gotta worry about Loot Bar. They've been around the block. If you're topping out anyway, why not give it a try? Use my link in the description, and yeah, you'll support me directly too. I appreciate that, and let's get back into the video. The livestream started with a version trailer showcase, which features the new Sword Vault Dell area. We are able to see Mifu moving like a prime martial artist. Her animations are heavy, and man does she look great. The next character though that will be playable and also got revealed, which would be Camille, and he's genuinely the coolest male character of Endfield so far for me, and he's moving like a damn devilish vampire. These two new characters are the next banners, and bro, I'm insanely hyped, especially for Camille. His story looks dark, and man, he just looks so sick, dude. But these two characters are the first focus of the live stream, and I'm sure you're excited to know what they're all about, so here's a quick summary and walkthrough about what they do. To start us off with Mifu, she's a physical guard character, and she's a powerful damage dealer that can apply physical susceptibility to her targets, with her main source of damage being dealt through her battle skill, where she will be applying the crush effect and crush damage. To understand her better, let's take a closer look at her kit. We'll start with her signature battle skill, which can be used in succession up to 3 times. The first skill usage would see her using move 1. It actually returns half an SP for you, then it pulls in nearby enemies and deal damage. If you can't move an elite enemy or a boss, Mifu will pull herself into the enemy instead. Now the second move will be able to be used right after that first move within a period of time, and this second move actually applies the very crucial crush effect. By using the second move, Mifu will attack the enemy, applying the crush effect, and with this crush effect, if she has consumed at least 3 vulnerability stacks, she'll be able to use her third skill move right after. You'll also notice that this second move will only cost half an SP to use, less than most other operator skills. After using her third skill move, Mifu will deal a massive 1 hit of damage to enemies right in front of her. This damage will be considered as crush damage. It's important to understand, although this is a skill technically used by Mifu, it's not considered as skill damage at all. On top of that, this crush damage does not consume vulnerability stacks, and it's not considered as triggering the physical status of crush either. However, stats like arts intensity will still increase the damage output of this specific crush damage, even if it's technically not you triggering the crush. This third skill also only costs half an SP, less than a typical skill. Moving on next with her kit, we've got her combo skill. Mifu's combo skill will trigger when an enemy reaches 3 vulnerability stacks. Upon usage, Mifu will deal damage to the target and apply physical susceptibility, while being able to replace the next battle skill she uses with her second move skill. Based on her talent, she'll also gain a shield right after using this combo, which increases resistance to interruption. All this actually directly explains that Mifu's playstyle playstyle will be simple. You want to get to 3 vulnerability with the team, trigger this combo right into using her second move, which consumes 3 vulnerability in order to trigger the crush, and you'll get to chain into the third and final move for massive damage. Moving up next will be her ultimate. Mifu will forcibly lift her target into midair, then slam into the ground to deal damage. She also replaces the next battle skill with her move 2. It's worth noting that in the livestream itself, Mifu is able to apply 2 stacks of physical status with this ultimate, which usually means you can trigger her combo instantly, since you only have to apply 3 stacks of physical status for that to happen. This ult is also mentioned to have quite the high stagger effect against the enemy. Awesome for a physical based team. Based on what we understand from her kit in the livestream, her best team seems to be pretty direct. If we look from the livestream showcase, Mifu will be great when used with characters of the physical playstyle. Think of the obvious breach applier in Arknights, one of the best physical status applier like Chen Qianyu, or even with a Rossi in a mixed arts and physical team. All these allies share one thing in common: they either benefit from the physical status or they are able to apply physical status in order to help Mifu get her kit to go. And since Mifu can apply the crush effect, she'll actually just take the spot of the Endmin or the Pan in most physical teams, or at least she's capable of. Now, will you need to use Mifu plus an Endmin in a team though and still utilize both of them? You can technically think about doing so, but that just goes to show how versatile physical teams can usually be. And in any case though, the live stream showcase demonstrated that the team will usually start with Mifu using her first and second move skill in order to activate the other allies' combos, and usually that means in a physical team, you'll have more than enough physical status to get to 3 stacks, which will trigger Mifu's combo, replacing her next battle skill with move 2, where she can consume all 3 stacks of them to deal crush damage, chaining into move 3 that actually further deals crush damage output even without triggering crush. Thereafter, use your ultimates and apply physical statuses, be it via Chen or your allies' combos or ultimates. Mifu will then be able to use her combo again because her ultimate actually does apply physical status as well. Then you can chain the combo into her skill for max damage. An alternative team that Mifu can be great in would definitely be in a mixed arts and physical team, which also got shown in the live stream. That team would likely feature someone like Rossi. Rossi is one of the easiest characters to rack up vulnerabilities with as well. Plus, with Mifu's physical susceptibility, Rossi's physical damage will also enjoy the benefits. A team like this will definitely have a fairly high SP requirement though, which is why characters like Arknights and even Akikuri, or perhaps even the up-and-coming Camille, can help this team shine well. Overall, it looks like Mifu is a crush character that's also able to apply physical status, apply physical susceptibility, meaning there's a likely chance that she can be treated as a upper replacement for someone like the Endmin or the Pad. How well does she actually perform though will be dependent on her numbers, but the fact that she can basically trigger a crush and do it again without even consuming any vulnerability makes it looks like she will probably be the best crush damage dealer of all time. We'll have to see her numbers though, but it might be time for Endmin to not be the best crush applier in the game now. In terms of pull priority, well, that'll be for another video, but generally speaking, if you got enough teams, you don't really have to pull anyone else. But hey, just sit tight though. With the new gameplay modes later that I'll mention, you might want to change your mind about having enough teams, right? In any case, let's continue on with the live stream. The next point of focus will be on the second new character that we are gonna get in the coming version, which will be Camille. We got shown a sneak peek of his storyline first that will be available with the coming update, which is just awesome. His backstory looks very charming, pretty brutal maybe, and it's just got a vibe of something messed up, and I like messed up. In any case, here's the more informative stuff. Camille is a heat element vanguard. For a quick summary, Camille is a support slash debuff character that can even do decent damage himself or as a sub damage dealer. He's legit a whole army. Camille is able to restore large amounts of SP for the team with various attacks, and his signature mechanic will be through his battle skill, which applies prolonged negative status effects such as weakened and heat susceptibility. When you combine this with his combo skill, he can then apply the whole team with the link buff effect. So not only he can debuff enemies, he can buff your team, and he still does damage. Awesome. To understand more about his kit, let's start with the battle skill. Camille will summon a Fire Fang Vesper wing to fly towards the enemy, attacking it and applying heat infliction to a small area of enemies. This also apply the weakness and heat susceptibility effect on the target. If that same target is hit by Camille's combo skill, it'll take additional explosion damage. And if the target would be defeated, the Fire Fang will fly towards another nearby enemy, attacking that enemy and applying the same debuffs instead. The slight problem with this skill is that you cannot apply the debuffs to multiple enemies. Only one of this debuff can apply to one enemy. You can change who it's on though by reusing this skill on another target, or hey, if you're just fighting a solo boss, then this wouldn't be an issue, and it would be awesome. Moving on though, let's check out his combo skill. Camille's combo skill triggers when an enemy's heat infliction is consumed or absorbed. Upon usage, Camille attacks the enemy and restores some SP. As mentioned earlier, you'll see the explosion damage if Camille uses this combo on a target with his own debuff effect that's inflicted from his skill. If you trigger this, your team will also gain the link buff. So it seems he has pretty decent buffing capabilities too. too. Moving up next will be his ultimate. Camille rained down with a barrage of spears and attacks in a sweep. This attack will apply 1 stack of heat infliction to enemies in a large area while also restore some SP. Shortly after casting this, Camille will enter a temporary hunter pursuit state, and his next battle skill will be converted to an enhanced combo. This enhanced combo is treated as a combo skill, and it attacks the enemy with the coolest animation ever, I might add. This attack restores SP upon hit and also grants the team the link buff again. With all that understood, it seems Camille is a really good buffer where if you can utilize the link buff well, your team's damage output will be generously increased. His debuff definitely helps the heat element more, specifically with the heat susceptibility, and his SP regeneration is something that is always going to be welcome. Because of how Mifu might need quite a bit of SP, you might consider a team of Rossi, Camille, and Mifu as sort of like a trifecta. You'll have a team with mixed damage, a lot of SP regeneration for Mifu to use them, and for Rossi as well. All while Rossi is able to help out Mifu, Mifu being able to help out Rossi as well. This is just on paper though, we'll have to see how they really work, which I'll cover in early access nearing next week, so do follow the channel for that. As for Camille's best team, it will definitely involve characters that can consume heat infliction, be it via consuming it with their kit or just consuming it with reaction. This makes Camille quite a versatile character. He can work in almost any arts-based teams technically, since you just need to find a way to consume that heat infliction, and most of them can. In the live stream, it's actually demoed that you can consider using Camille in a fun arts reaction team where you'll be mainly dealing damage via arts reactions like the combustion effect. More practically though, one of Camille's best setup will be with Levitain, where he will take the spot of Akekuri in the squad. Levitain being able to consume the heat inflictions constantly with her kit means a consistent way to trigger Camille's combo, allowing for constant link buffs, and not to mention the heat susceptibility and the weakened effect will all benefit Levitain. Someone that's extremely direct, she simply does a lot of heat damage, right? And this is likely the best use case, or at least the most direct use case for Camille on paper currently, but I do think there are definitely other use cases for him that could be interesting as well. Depending on SP regeneration, rotation, and usage, it's someone that is quite interesting and could be quite versatile. I like it. I will say one of the proper weakness that he may have is that his debuff can only land on one enemy at a time. This is similar to the case of Antal, where if the stage or if the endgame mode that you're trying to beat shows you multiple enemies that is also quite bulky, then Camille's skill will only apply to one of them, and that might not be the most like ideal scenarios. But in an AoE scenario though, if you can beat the mobs consistently, you'll see the mobs dying constantly through Camille's like explosive firefly, all that without needing SP. And even in like a disadvantageous situation, I bet Camille's SP regeneration alone and all the link buffs will serve as a pretty good way to make your team shine well. I do think he's a pretty high value character, but again though, more on if you should pull in another video. There's a lot to think about. Today we'll just focus on the new stuff. Speaking of the new stuff, those are all the new characters, and that's done. I'm happy with them. They definitely look good, especially Camille. Moving on next with the new stuff though, we are introduced with a couple of new gameplay related stuff with new high difficulty Umbral Monument series, which while these are just the normal stuff, I wonder how difficult it'll get. There's also a new permanent gameplay mode, Trial of Swordmancy, which looks to be a combat based event where you get to draw random enemies and decide where other difficulty is going to be. Overdraw it, overkill it, the difficulty shoots up while the reward amount drops. A pretty interesting permanent gameplay mode actually. You have to control the points amounts for sure. What's cool about this mode is that they actually allow you to build artillery facilities that helps you damage the enemies. Usually we just build the weaponry stuff for farming purposes to just nuke like the waves of enemies. So in this new permanent gameplay mode, it seems they'll really integrate the weaponaries that you can build as a way to help you beat the mode. It's gonna be quite fun. Now for the big one, Contingency Contract is finally announced. This new mode is actually a pretty popular mode from what I've seen, and what this new mode does is that it essentially has a custom difficulty where you get to choose how hard this gets. We got to see a demo of it, and it looks like we have a lot of modifiers. It's scattered in 3 rows, each row with a different point attached to them. The more points they are, the likely odds that they are really difficult. Some of these modifiers are ridiculous, like one of them requires you to not perform any dodges while, defeating enemies, which is ridiculous. Some increases or decreases damage and whatnot. There are also key modifiers that you can pick, which does give you some buffs, not just debuffs. Choosing whichever amount that suits you and whichever combination that best suit your capabilities of your team will be the secret of beating this mode. The higher the total points of modifiers chosen, the harder it usually gets though. Entering combat in this mode will show a few waves where you do get a breather in between waves to maybe heal and such, and there are some hella creative debuffs that we saw, like limitations to negative status inflictions, or a damage over time area upon enemy's death, and even a no operator swapping restriction for a team. This is the hardest possible mode ever for Endfield, and this is going to be hella fun for them grinders. You can get great rewards in especially oro barrels, which they have mentioned that it won't require you to beat impossible levels of difficulty to get the most basic useful rewards, so I think that's like actually actually nice. But for the grinders though, I do hope they allow for some rewards that's meaningful, right? Like a title. Maybe you get to call yourself Thanos if you beat them all at like crazy difficulties. That's something that I'm really looking forward to. And yep, let's see how tough this gets, dude. Moving on next, we do see more information on the banners, with Bifu raid up happening first after the version release until June 26. Then we will see Camille's raid up on June 26 until the end of the version. So it's a version with 2 new characters. Obviously, we also get both the narrative event for these characters, where we'll definitely enjoy the backstory and drama about these 2 new characters. There are also a number of new stuff that we're used to at this point, like a new gear set and additional gear pieces. Pretty normal stuff. And yeah, by the way, the new protocol pass got released, which does feature a great sword and a polearm, likely usable for the newer characters as well. With that out the way, we do see some usual optimizations, which I won't be covering too much of them, but the biggest one for me is definitely the multi-selection artificing thing. This just saves so much clicking, and thankfully they finally got this fixed. After that, we do see a future version preview, and this one's also pretty big. We got a sneak peek of what is up and coming, and the stream specifically mentioned that the coming updates will get more and more climactic, which yep, I do get that feeling for sure. The future versions did show a familiar face and a new character, which looks absolutely adorable. The live stream also mentioned that the future versions will have cool looking new maps, and of course, who can forget that the factory must grow. We can expect that in the future versions to see gaseous related facilities, new factory related stuff, all that jazz. A lot of this game is building the factory. And that is pretty much it for the live stream. It's a pretty direct one that showed a lot of new stuff. And I do feel like at the end when they mentioned the future preview, it seems that they're really cooking something big for that future version, and that this coming version is still a pretty good breather. It introduces 2 new characters that we found charming. They do also introduce a new area, but it's not exactly going to be focused too much on like the main story quest, I don't think. But from the future preview though, they are saying it's going to get more and more climactic soon. I'm all up for that, and hey, this coming version, if anything, there's new story that we can read, and the biggest one is just the contingency mode, man. I cannot wait to try that out. It's probably gonna take a lot of time for us to beat that, especially for like a hard grinder, and I know a lot of you are. So if you want the fastest showcase, like the early access stuff, to follow the channel. I'll be covering those for sure. I'll be posting like shoot your poll analysis tomorrow or a day after as well. Do follow the channel for that. Appreciate your support. That'll be it for now. Take care.